Hare Krishna, everybody. Welcome back to another session of Bhagavad Gita. Up until now, we have seen that Krishna has been describing the characteristics of the soul. So, chapter 2, text number 17, Krishna started to describe the characteristics of a soul. We did up until text number 28. We will be doing today text number 29 and 30. And this concludes the characteristics of the soul topic that Krishna is talking about. Let's start with prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master who with with the torchlight of knowledge has opened my eyes which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. My dear Lord, in the spiritual energy of the Lord, please engage me in your service. I am now embarrassed with this material service. Please engage me in your service. Text number 29 reads, some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. Very interesting. Krishna has been describing the soul, and these two verses are the concluding verses of describing the soul. So, Krishna is saying the tiny soul is 1 inch, hardly an inch. Earlier, there was a description that the size of the soul is 1/10,000th the tip of the hair, which means the soul is very tiny. And this tiny soul enlivens the body of a big, gigantic elephant. And this tiny soul also enlivens the body of an ant. So the soul can be so great that it can enliven the body of a gigantic elephant. At the same time, the soul is so small that it can fit not only in the body of an ant but also in the body of an atom. So, how a particle, a spirit soul, can be so great and so small at the same time is very difficult to understand. And Krishna is saying people who are engrossed in sense gratification do not have the time to understand the subject matter of the soul. Krishna goes further to explain that some people come in contact with the subject matter of the soul and they are misguided to understand or accept the soul and the super soul to be one. Which is very sorry, and Krishna is saying it is very difficult to find a person in this universe who has understood the soul and the super soul properly. And from there on, if one can understand the subject matter of the soul, then one's life is successful. So if we want to make our lives successful, then we should make our best effort to understand the subject matter of the soul. Krishna is saying the easiest way to understand the subject matter of the soul is to accept the words, the statements of the Bhagavad Gita, which are spoken by Lord Sri Krishna, who is the authority. And Krishna is saying, soul is separate from the body. Let's see further. Text number 30. Text number 30 reads, O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being. So, that which is always existing, Krishna is saying there is no need to grieve about that. Krishna is establishing the temporary nature of the body and the permanent nature of the soul. A big gigantic elephant cannot move without the presence of the soul. This can be paralleled with our own experience of an aeroplane. And a big gigantic aeroplane cannot move without the presence of a pilot. A car cannot move without the presence of a driver. Similarly, a big gigantic universe cannot function without the presence of the Supreme Lord. And our body cannot function without the presence of the soul. So Krishna is defying the theory that the living symptoms come into existence at some mature point of a chemical reaction. Krishna is saying soul is distinct from the body and the soul cannot be killed. So, Arjuna, your grandfather and your teacher, if you are killing them, the body is being killed, which will anyhow be killed whether you kill them or no, because the body will anyhow have to go one day. And their soul, you cannot harm their soul because soul is eternal. And their body, you cannot save their body because body is temporary. So, Krishna is saying, why are you lamenting, Arjuna? At the same time, because of this logic, one cannot encourage violence. At the same time, when violence is needed for a just war which is sanctioned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the violence should be encouraged under the sanction of the Supreme Lord. Like, killing is not encouraged, but when the state declares war, then the soldiers go and kill and they get medals because it has been sanctioned by the state. The same soldier comes and kills a kinsman at his home or a neighbor, the same soldier is punished because killing is not to be encouraged, but for the cause of justice, for the cause of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's decision and the religious principles to be maintained, violence is needed. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjuna, do not hesitate to fight and do not lament because you are not killing. The soul is eternal and the body is anyhow temporary and it will dwell at its own time. So why are you hesitating to perform your duty thinking that you will be deteriorating their body? The body will deteriorate one day anyhow. For that sake, you should not forego doing your duty. That's text number 29 and 30 of chapter 2. We will start next session with text number 31. It will be a different topic that Krishna will start talking about. Stay tuned. Hare Krishna.